Whoopi Goldberg says no evenings, just hit and run sentiment now. As of late, Whoopi Goldberg unveiled her inclination for adoration is developing. While The View has a lot of involvement in marriage, she is starting to comprehend what she enjoys and could do without in sentiment. Whoopi Goldberg is definitely not an alien to connections. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, the long-term entertainer and host of The View is developing increasingly more okay with herself. Without a doubt, Whoopi Goldberg has offered sentiment a fair chance. Beforehand, having 3 relationships, she is finding her actual inclinations in connections. To start with, she and Alvin Martin were in a marriage and brought forth a little girl, Alex, 49. They later isolated and finished their separation in 1979. Then, from 1986 to 1988 she and cinematographer David Claessen shared a marriage. Lastly, her third spouse, Lyle Trachtenberg, and Whoopi's marriage was from 1994 to 1995. Be that as it may, in the May 10th episode of Who's Conversing with Chris Wallace? On Max, Whoopi uncovers she isn't having any desire to wed once more. Be that as it may, presently, she is talking about what she prefers in the affection division while advancing her new diary, Pieces and Pieces. My mom, my sibling, and me. Of late, Whoopi Goldberg has been taking off with her conversations about Pieces and Pieces, my mom, my sibling, and me. On the Where Lemon show, Whoopi gets serious about her ongoing perspective on sentiment. In fact, she remembers she is generally a narrow-minded individual. While examining her journal, she says, I've found that since I have a brilliant youngster and a child in regulation and 3 grandchildren and 1 extraordinary excellent that I lack the capacity to deal with a ton of others coming into my life. She makes sense of she is all right with hit and runs, yet doesn't need substantially more than that in her life at the present time. While she is okay with having a few experiences, she would rather not draw them out. She states, about the speedy rondoses, wouldn't fret those. Notwithstanding, she makes it understood, however you can't go through the evening. After her clarification, Ware laughs at her chose depiction of hit and runs. Then, at that point, he clench hand knocks her and inquires, they still happen? In reaction, Whoopi Goldberg replies, gracious, no doubt. The View proceeds, and you need to give yourself consent since you realize you have this entire line of words that are piled up in your mind about what you are assuming you say a quick in and out is where you need to be, and you would rather not be married. Further expounding, Whoopi tells Ware Lemon, goodness, am I a prostitute? Am I this? Am I a horrible individual since I would rather not? And I never truly mulled over everything. While at the same time examining she admits, I recently thought, well I should treat it terribly, because others appear to be ready to have sorted it out. In any case, Whoopi discovers a sense of reconciliation by saying, what I didn't understand with that was that I had sorted it out. I just was astounded by the way that I didn't actually need it, yet I like to quick in and out, Whoopi Goldberg imparts to Ware Lemon. Then, she adds, and my mom said well perhaps you ought to simply set up a party from this point forward, not get hitched any longer. Yet Whoopi acquired viewpoint on herself and said, I don't actually need that. Rather than marriage, she is rethinking her cravings. According to she, I need to see you when I see you, and afterward you go. While conversing with Chris Wallace on Who's Conversing with Chris Wallace? He inquires as to whether she needs another marriage. According to she, no, I don't. Then, at that point, she makes sense of, it doesn't matter at all to me how you feel. It's horrible. Whoopi Goldberg has understood that she doesn't need that speculation. She admits, when you're hitched to someone, you must be put resources into how they're feeling. I'm not. Yet she knows her needs throughout everyday life. She adds, I'm put resources into my child. I'm put resources into her children. Besides, she says, I'm put resources into my child in regulation. I'm put resources into my companions. Honestly, that does exclude marriage at the present time. Proceeding, yet I'm not put resources into a relationship that would expect as much as having a kid requires, and I know that that is not really for me.